Please tell me what you think of these naive thieves and their tragic and magic.
God, is everything they do right?
No, but this is a happy accident.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Audiophiles. Are you beauty? My name's John. His name's Andy.
It is.
When you walk without ease on these streets where you were raised, I had a really bad dream. It lasted 20 years, 7 months, and 27 days. More on that later. But first, we have a tune to listen to. Comrade Andy, what have you got in store for the gang today?
I have in store a band called Naive Thieves.
Okay.
Okay, that was the look of no bells being rung. So I think it's safe to say you have no prior experience listening to these guys.
No, not at all.
Excellent. Well, the track by them is called Tragic and Magic, and it is a sort of that one of those Audiotree live studio kind of
All right.
performances. So, um,
Excellent.
yeah, please tell me what you think of these naive thieves and their tragic and magic.
God, is everything they do right?
No, but this is a happy accident.
Okay, will do.
Excellent.
I can't believe I got caught out again thinking it was a new Audiotree thing. That's two in a row. When will I learn? Really nice start. It's got a great sound to it. It's kind of feels to me kind of like a noughties revival sound blended with other stuff. I'm really liking those drums. They're kind of pounding and they give a bit of oomph to it and almost like a really nice beat, almost like a danceable quality to it. It's clearly sort of, I guess, indie rock, would you call it? Um, they were doing their bits. The guitars sound really good together. Really nice sort of jaunty riff at the end. Dun, 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 dun. But when it went to that dun 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 dun, that was like kind of familiar sounding. Couldn't yet tell you what it is. But anyway, let's just draw it back a bit so we get the singer intro proper.
Well, I didn't see it coming. New chapter started while the streets were running by the wooden dome. Oh, and I was so afraid before harmonies echo from the ground to the floor. I said, what was meant to be? Simple truths, the rust of the out of the blue. But I don't want to go home and return to my old ways. I'll keep my head up.
Yeah, I'm really liking the guitar sounds on this, and there is some familiarity there. I'm thinking as it led up to this bit, it's almost like, I could be completely wrong here, but almost like a cleaned up version of like Libertines and some others as well. But you know, it's just influence rather than copying anyone. But this bit here, where they sort of drop down and just the drums going, that sounded so much like the Strokes. It's really cool. It's good. Let's bring it back a little bit.
rose to me out of the blue, but I don't want to go home and return to my old ways. I'll keep my head up and remember that sometimes patterns are to break. No, one thing that I know for sure is I could never know it all. Tragic and magic will come and it'll go. Yeah, I'm letting go of regret, 'cause that shit is all in my head. Magic and tragic will come and it'll go. Alright. And for once I was free from your digs that were swallowing me. I knew I had to cut some ties. Oh, and I felt my spry eyes drunk in yawn, sleeping in by the temple of the dawn. Never felt so alive. Simple truths rose to me out of the blue, but I don't want to go home and return to my old ways. I'll keep my head up and remember
Nice.
that sometimes patterns are. One thing I know for sure is I could never know it all. Tragic and magic will come and it'll go. Yeah, I'm letting go of regret, 'cause that shit is all in my head. Magic and tragic will come and it'll go. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Yeah.
Yeah, first off, a great performance. Sounded really tight. I like that. There's lots of different ideas within. There's guitar sounds. So definitely a bit of sort of Libertines or that era sounding. Bit of Strokes as well. Some of their own stuff. Some nice little flourishes in there. And different sort of techniques with the guitar. There was that sort of muted string, chick, 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 a little bit of that as well. And there's like little flourishes. Yeah, I really like the guitar sound, but I have to say, I love the drums. Just enough pounding. They weren't overpowering, but they just really got it through. And the bass helped as well in the parts where I could hear the bass. The singer's delivery at first, I thought it was kind of almost relaxed, crooner-like. Almost a bit like early Alex Turner, but with an American filter on his voice, if you know what I mean. But as the song progressed, he put more and more personality into it, and it sort of stepped up. So he did a great job as well. And of course, as someone said recently, when you run out of words, just throw in a sack full of la la las, and why not? Yeah. So this is really decent, and it seemed full of ideas. And yeah, I'd have to listen to more of this band. I wouldn't say it's hooked me. I enjoyed it definitely, but I'd like to hear a bit more and see what else they got. But yeah, really decent song. Let's go back and talk it up some more with Andy.
All right, welcome back to the party. So, what did you make of these Naive Thieves and their track Tragic and Magic? And this, I guess, performance or what have you from Audiotree?
Couple of things. Naive Thieves sounds kind of like a sort of early Jonathan Demme type sort of vibe to it, you know, obviously before Hannibal Lecter. But yeah, and another thing, I can't believe it, but it happened again. For about the first 2 seconds, I thought, oh, Audiotree got a new theme tune. This is the second time.
It's always the song that's being
I
played.
know, but each time I get caught up with the visual, and away you go. So yeah, never learn. But no, jaunty little start. There's this sort of cheeky guitar riff at the end of every other line that's really nice. I have to
Mhm.
say straight away that the guitars fit really well, fit together really nicely, and they're all sort of doing stuff. But the overall, rather than sort of bashing against each other like bumper cars, it's fitting together really nicely.
Mhm.
Um, and the drums, they're kind of quite pounding actually, but they're not over powering. And they add almost just like this insistent beat. It's almost quite a little danceable sort of quality to the song in
Mhm.
an indie rock way.
Yeah.
Um, and I said the bass does sound melodic when I catch it, which isn't all the time. It sort of comes in waves where, oh, I notice the bass and then I don't notice again for a little bit. He's doing his best, I'm sure. I'm sure it's my fault more than his. But yeah, so your man starts singing and he has this relaxed quality about him in his delivery. It's
Nice.
sort of naughty sounding, and, and my first initial thought was it was kind of like a bit of, forgive me here because you probably won't agree with this at all, but it kind of reminded me a bit of early Alex Turner, but with an American filter on it. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So
Okay. I'll tell you what
remove,
it reminds me of something that was a huge influence on Alex Turner. So maybe this is where like we're finding ourselves is this little area here. But it reminded me of less affected production of Julia Casablancas. So I was taken more to the Strokes than I was Arctic Monkeys, but I guess I could see your point for sure. It was of
mm,
that sort of
yeah, yeah. I mean, more on that later, but and I have to say his voice develops through the song.
yeah.
So just the first bit in particular. Um, so yeah, this first verse section musically reinforces to me that naughty sound as well. And elements of it, again, my opinion changed through the song, but at bits, it sounded like a cleaner version of the Libertines and
Yeah.
some of the way the guitars were strung and those. And the way they use a sort of chords as almost punctuation. They
Yeah,
get to
yeah.
the end of that dun 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 dun, and
Yes,
then a
yes, that
slower
part too.
dun. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and I have to say, this first verse, what do you want to call it? The drums are still sounding really, really good, and they're probably my favorite bit. Even though the guitars are awesome, I
Yeah.
just love the drums. And they're really simple as well. He's not doing all this massive, John
Yeah.
Bonham stuff. It's just really nice. So around the minute mark, the singer is he's starting to put touch a bit more character into it,
Mhm.
and then the song changes and it switches to a very stroke sounding section as he sings I Don't Want to Go Home.
Yeah.
The bass, well, I can hear it now, and the drums are really holding it all together. And then the lead guitar, the white guitar, I think. So if you're looking at it, he's adding some nice little flourishes.
Yeah.
But it's all sounded great. And then we step back into the main sort of theme of the song, and I hear the tragic and magic will come and it will go a couple of times. So I'm guessing it's kind of like the chorusy bits, as it
Mhm.
were. But it all kind of flows apart from this stroke sort of drop down. So it's not like an amazingly obvious chorus. It just continues on its way. We get another verse, sorry, and as his voice sort of rises and he's really sort of put more into it now, I really struggled to pick the lyrics of what he was saying. Just me, I guess.
No.
Um, but we get this like 4 beat pound, which is again Libertines, into the stroke section again. And I noticed this time as they're doing it, a couple of them, the drummer and one of the guitarists, is adding some harmonies as well, which is really nice and just a little bit of a change as well. But it sounded really nice. It wasn't again overblown. It was just really sort of well done. And then after the second chorus, more sort of tragic and magic will come and go. We then get a sack full of Lars to see us out. And
Mhm.
I think there's one viewer put on his quest, when you run out of words, just bung a load of Lars at it, which is always a good choice. So I would say this is a really, really good live performance. It's really tight. I could spot some influences, but all bands have them. It's what they do with them. But I think this is a really upbeat blend that was full of ideas. I really liked the way the guitars all had like little little cameo bits and were doing different stuff. There was even some sort of like muted sort of tick, 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 tick,
Mhm.
for a bit. There was these little flourishes. All the sort of chord strumming worked really well together. And the way all the guitars blended was really impressive. I think the overall sound, particularly with that drum, just really taken. I just caught my.
Mhm.
I wouldn't say it's any better, but for a first listen and reaction, I really enjoyed it, and I just thought it's full of ideas, and there was something really interesting there, and I'd be really interested to hear some more. I wouldn't say that that's this song in particular like hooked me and bowled me over, but it impressed me and
Yeah.
made me want to sort of decide, what else to discover what else they've got in
Excellent.
store.
Excellent. Yeah, no, they're a really fun band, and I think they do there are influences where you go, I can correlate this to a band. But then there
Yeah,
are like these broader things where like there's almost this like tropical beach jazz feel to the whole thing. Just that clean guitar and the structure of the chords and things like that. It does have this like jazz adjacent element to it while also having like a weird correlation to like Hawaiian music or something like that that you could extrapolate from some of the sounds and the playfulness of the music. So yeah, it's uniquely theirs, but there are obviously things you can glean
yeah,
from it where you're like, oh, it sounds like this, it sounds like that, which are actually oftentimes pretty comforting if you're cool with whatever they pulled from. You know what I mean? If that tickles your fancy. So the Naive Thieves, they are a four-piece indie rock band from Riverside, California, consisting of Cameron Thorne on lead vocals and guitar, Levi Audette on guitar, Kyle Garcia on vocals and bass, and Ian Maloney on vocals and drums. But the band was formed by high school friends Cameron Thorne and Levi Audit, who started jamming together in 2009. And the band has been quoted attributing their sound to influences like 60s pop, jazz, 50s doo-wop, rock and roll punk, Jamaican music, soul music, and even the visual arts. Some artists they list as influences on them are Jerry Bird, The Strokes, Jean-Luc Godard, Morrissey, and Alfred Apaka. So interesting.
that's a hell of a dinner
Wow.
party, that is, isn't
Yeah, yeah, it is.
it?
Exactly. Um, so after being featured on several smaller music blogs early on, the two decided to add members Jaron Eldon on drums and vocals and Kyle Garcia on bass and vocals to better equip them for live shows. Obviously at some point there was turnover at drums. The band opened for Casey Crescenzo, lead singer and guitarist and songwriter for The Deer Hunter, in 2010. And since then, Naive Thieves have toured with the Deer Hunter several times. That's how I became familiar with Naive Thieves. So Cameron Thorne was also featured all over the Deer Hunters, the Color Spectrum concept album, which we've covered,
Right.
featured on several tracks throughout that, and
Oh.
designed much of the artwork for the album and its promo materials. In 2011, they released their first EP, From Nowhere, which blended tropical jazz and indie folk. Thorne played the ukulele on the album, inspired by his Hawaiian heritage. So there you go. That kind of explains that kind of beachy vibe that I'm sure he grew up around. So there you are.
That's so that in essence defines the difference between our two nations. Because you would hear ukulele and think, oh, Hawaiian. We hear ukulele, we think George Formby when I'm cleaning windows. That's the difference. Lancashire, Hawaii. Yeah, very, very
Yeah.
different.
Who would have thought they would have had a different approach? So yeah, they followed up that year a year later with their second EP, La Chic Rat, which was produced by Casey Crescenzo. With La Chic Rat, the band was able to expand upon the lo-fi foundation they had set with their first EP and experiment with new sounds, embracing the musical chemistry of everyone in the studio. After being signed by Equal Vision Records, the band released their first full album in 2014 entitled Vamonos. And that this song features on Vamonos. In 2017, they released their second and last album, Born Alone. This song we listened to today, Tragic and Magic, featured was the third track featured on the album Vominos. Writing for Diffuser, Chuck Armstrong would say this of the album: the alt rockers put their unique and compelling spin on 60s inspired pop, creating one of the best records to fly under your radar this year. Pete Laurie of TheMusic.com wrote in his review of the album: as crisp as a new pair of skinny jeans rolled halfway up to your ankle, Naive Thieves offers a kind of tight twee guitar pop you can set your watch by. There's enough of a self-aware wink that keeps Vamonos from taking itself too seriously. Vamonos is light fluff, but it's infectiously listenable, smile-inducing light fluff. In her review of the album, Jeanette Ayub of Underground Music wrote this of the track: Tragic and Magic has an early stroke sound to it, which is thanks to the crooning of Cameron Thorne and his raspy voice. Thorne makes it look so effortless to emit his distinct sound, especially when hitting higher notes, and is able to pull it off in a leather jacket. Kyle Garcia's bass slapping skills can clearly be heard on this track, which is refreshing. All in all, this is a song that makes you feel good at the end of the day, regardless of what happened. Tragic and Magic will come and then it will go. Letting go of regrets because this shit is all in my head is the anthem and overall feel of this song. So, since I just quoted a bit of them, let me get into the lyrics. I couldn't see it coming. New chapter started while the streets were a hummin' by the Golden Dome. And I was so afraid before. Harmonies echoed from the crown to the core. Guess it was meant to be. Simple truths arose to me out of the blue, but I don't want to go home and return to my old ways. I'll keep my head up and remember that sometimes patterns are hard to break. And oh, one thing that I know for sure is I could never know it all. Tragic and magic will come and it'll go. Yeah, I'm letting go of regret, 'cause that shit is all in my head. Magic and tragic will come and it'll go. And for once I was free from the old digs that were swallowing me. I knew I'd have to cut some ties, but I felt my spry eyes drunken yawn. Steepen in it by the temple of the dawn, never felt so alive. Simple truths arose to me out of the blue, but I don't want to go home and return to my old ways. I'll keep my head up and remember that sometimes patterns are hard to break. And oh, one thing I know for sure is I could never know it all. Tragic and magic will come and it'll go. Yeah, I'm letting go of regret because that shit is all in my head. Magic and tragic will come and it'll go. La la la, la 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 la. And as you say, when in doubt, chuck in some more la la la's. So there you are. And I would be happy to dig up another couple tracks or so, maybe from these guys, future
Hmm.
down the line, so you can get a better understanding of them. And since this, maybe didn't fully captivate you, but did impress you and give you enough
Yeah.
fuel to want to peep them out in the future. So I'll be happy to oblige at some point, and we can check out more by these guys.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
yeah, I was really interested when I heard these guys because you like I I trust Casey Crescenzo's choice and taste in music, but it was interesting to hear these guys open for them and not sound a lot like what the Deer Hunter is doing, but still sounding good enough to catch their ear, and then to push it out to everybody else. And yeah, I've seen them a couple times now, throughout the years, I think, and always put on a really good show. There's some pretty class musicians. Those guitars do sound so beautiful together. They have this very tranquil, beachy harmony. And yes, that staccato dun, 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 point on the guitar. I don't know what it is about that, but that to me is as fun to listen to as some people would probably think a lead by Eddie Van Halen is or something like that. I don't know what it
Mm.
is. It's just the rhythmic pattern of that guitar part I just love so much. So.
It's kind of like punctuation. It's like, and here it is,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
in the
And
form
look
of
here
song.
now. Yeah, yeah. It does draw your attention for sure. So yeah, thank you so much for giving this a listen. I'm really glad you liked it. Guys out there in the listening audience, let us know what you made of Naive Thieves in this track, Tragic and Magic. I'd be interested to hear what you guys have to say. Maybe some other comparisons or things that or other bands that these guys reminded you of. Please feel free to let us know. It's always interesting hearing your guys' POV on the tracks that we bring to the channel. So yeah, like, share, and subscribe if you'd be so inclined. Come on. It won't hurt, doesn't cost a thing, and it helps all of us, hopefully, in the long run. So, yeah, we really, really do appreciate that. And hopefully, John and I will catch all y'all in growing numbers on the next installment of the Audio Files. We'll see you later, guys.